All right, guys, welcome back to Liquid to Cash. Today, I have a crazy story to share with you. It's a story that cost me $15,000, and I hope you can learn from my mistakes so that you don't do this for your business in the near future or in the future at all. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so if you guys like the content, if you guys like exactly what you're watching, make sure you like and subscribe, share with the people that you feel are in this business and this niche that want to learn a little bit about epoxy. Hopefully, this could be good information for you, for them. Everybody can benefit off of my $15,000 mistake. All right, so let's jump right into it. So the first year of me doing epoxy was a crazy year. I was growing the business. I was getting a lot of customers. I didn't know what to do. And I had a floor job. I will never forget this floor job because, again, it cost me $15,000, and hopefully you can learn from this mistake. Long story short, I had a team that was, working with me. So the customer had already ripped up the carpet. I don't do any demolition. I always tell my customers to go ahead and demo the area and prep it ready for us to come work, because I do not want to touch anything. I don't want to break anything. I just come in there to prep and design. So the customer had already cleared the floor, and literally was a basement floor. So we had to go ahead and diamond grind the floor. You guys already watched my video, so you should know what a diamond grinder is. So pretty much we prepped the floor. We got all the dirt off the floor, and we created a mechanical bond for the epoxy to stick to it, of course, which is the scuff marks on the floor. So it was, the floor was almost 600 square feet. Okay, so it was almost a 600 square feet floor, and I was using 4 kits of epoxy. So each kit of epoxy with your A and B, especially if you're using the light viscosity, as you guys should know based on the videos that I post, with a low viscosity epoxy, you know that flows. So in theory, a low viscosity epoxy can cover up to 180 square feet. The average is 150 square feet, but if you really want to make it thick, I could say that you could go up to either 100 or 120. So what do I mean by that? That means that one kit, one A and B combined kit, is 3 gallons. Each 3 gallon on average can do 150 square feet. So if you have a 600 square feet floor, 4 kits makes sense because it's 150 per kit. You get, 1, 2, 3, 4. You do it. All right. So the first 2 kits, I was there. I mixed it. I made sure that the A and the B went into it. Made sure that it was stirred for 2 minutes. Made sure that it was mixed very, very well before I gave it to my staff to pour it. As it came to the 3rd kit, literally I had to go handle some business, so I gave one of my employees the responsibility of mixing the kit. So I left and I came back. When I came back, they had already kind of poured the 3rd and 4th kit down on the floor, and I noticed something, and I was like, why does the floor look white? So this is the first thing that you guys need to know. When the floor itself, if you do not mix your A and the B, there's always a white hue when you're spreading the epoxy around. It has like a really noticeable white hue over it. So I was like, why is the floor white? Like, I don't get it. So then I asked my staff, I was like, did you mix it up right? He was like, yeah, we did it. We mixed it up right. Everything was good. I was like, okay. I wasn't there for the mixing. We came back the next day, guys, and literally the whole entire floor that we used the other 2 remaining kits was still sticky. It still had the white hue on it. And literally by that time, we had already started putting a top coat on the floor. The reason why we had already started putting the top coat was because where these guys put the last few coats, the last few kits, was in the back, so we couldn't get to it till we started. So the whole point was, okay, we will start putting the top coat on because we thought that the whole floor had cured, because when we touched it when we first came, certain parts were hardened, not knowing that the parts that were hardened were the parts that I mixed. right? So we're putting down material again. We're putting down the top coat, and then we get to the part that is it still has the white cube, still sticky, and I was like, this is not cured, and it literally felt like it was just a part A. And then I asked him, I was like, okay, how did you mix it? And he literally was like, well, I just stirred it and then I gave it to them. I was like, did you pour the part B into the epoxy? He was like, what part B? So long story short, guys, we had to not only rip off the top coat, rip off the part that I mixed and the part that he messed up on. And it was so bad that we had to literally remove the base coat as well. So literally, not only did I lose money in just material, because I had to repay for all those materials, I had to still pay my staff that was coming. There was about 4 people that were working with us. I had to pay them to go ahead and literally chip and remove everything out of that floor. And I still had to rebuy new material to redo the floor for the customer. So that was a very big mistake that I don't wish on anybody. I hope it will never happen to you guys. But always make sure that when you're mixing your epoxy, please, please, please make sure that you're mixing the correct A with the correct B, because if not, you would have to be removing that epoxy, because remember, epoxy is seamless. So you can't just start on one side and take a break and do another part, like come the next day to do it. You could if you are advanced enough, but if you're just starting, that's a very hard thing to do, and I don't wish that on anybody. So hopefully you guys can learn from my mistake. Make sure your part A is mixed with your part B, because if it's not, it is not going to cure. And 9 times out of 10, if you will mismatch them, you would have to rip up the whole floor or the countertops or whatever job you're doing. If you're doing metallic designs, you'll 9 times out of 10 will have to go through that. So I don't wish that on you guys, and hopefully you guys can learn anything. You guys have learned from my mistake. All right, so make sure that you like and subscribe. There's more content like this coming, and make sure that you always mix your part A and your part B for 2 minutes so that you don't have to lose $15,000 like I did. All right, guys, enjoy your day.